you know, this problem, you know, this is a Runbeck problem, this is a Hart problem.
Right.
You know, the problem that we have been seeing here has nothing to do. This is all machine and ballots, because we could have counted any ballot. So it wasn't.
I was very impressed with the hand count that they did do. I thought it couldn't be that hard to just do all of them that way.
Well, that's what we've wanted from 2023,
Right.
And obviously with the passage of 969, that strips our ability to do that, you know, and there's no reason for a county of our size with lots of volunteers
Yes.
to be able to go over to the Civic Auditorium for a day or two and with
Right.
a couple hundred volunteers
Get that done.
get it all done and have a great opportunity to bring the public together to
Yes.
restore trust in your voting and show that we all can agree on marks, because counting ballots is easy.
Yes, it really was. I wasn't familiar, but I was very impressed.
You know, and so I've done it before in 2012, and it goes by very fast. You do shifts of 4 hours, so you don't wear people out. And you know, we have thousands of people that would volunteer, thousands.
Yes.
You know, so this is an easy thing. It would cost less, and when you put 3 sets of eyes on every ballot, you get 100% accuracy.
Yes.
You know, when you do it by one person, you get a lot of errors, which is what's happening inside this
Yes.
building.
Yeah.
And they're handling lots of ballots by one person, and that's a problem.
Patrick, is this something that the Board of Supervisors can do, call a state of emergency?
Yeah, we can. So that's it's going to be up to the chair, and you know, right now we've got ballots that aren't scanning. We have ballots that have been rescanned that are not scanning. So we're having trouble with machines counting ballots, and that means that I think that could be considered an emergency.
Yeah, because it specifically says if the machines are not feasible.
Right, and it looks like with these ballots that a portion of them cannot be counted. They'll have to be counted by hand.
Oh, okay.
A portion of them.
Yeah, because we don't want to go back and do everything all over again. We just want to make it right.
Yeah.
Well,
So we'll see.
Make it honest, transparent.
But we don't know how much is wrong and what they've already done. It really should be thorough.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. It'll be an interesting couple weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be done by the 3rd, so I think he'll ask to ROV will have to ask for extension.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And we'll see what Nevada County, what happens over there too. See if they have the same problem or other counties. So we'll see.
All right, great.
Are you willing to hold something like this?
That's 10% of people registered that day with no ID. They just go in.
Left-wing media so much. They don't buy your shit.
1640.
Pay attention to who's saying what. Yeah.
Exactly.
Could lie with Runbeck. It probably doesn't fall with Hart. The ballot, when it's prepared, there's certain specifications. So we called up Runbeck and said, "Here's our machines. Use the specifications that work with these machines."
Okay.
Clearly, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Now, either they made a mistake, or we gave them the wrong specifications. One of the two. Now, I think they knew what machines we have.
That's
So they should have prepared a ballot. They did a test ballot. That test went through. And then when they sent out 117,000, they did not. Half of them won't count. So I'm
Right.
pretty sure that's a runback that will have to pay for that.
Right.
We'll determine that afterwards. Runback's been under investigation before,
Really?
many times. Maricopa County, Arizona.
Yeah. Bless them.
That's rude.
Lord,
Good to see you.
appreciate you doing the film because we
Well,
need to reach out. That's
Yeah,
the whole
I
point.
know,
If
but
we only talk to
I don't know what I
ourselves,
can
we're
get
getting
here.
Nowhere.
There's not too many people here right now, so. At least we got the press out.
It's about noon right
That's
now.
important.
We'll just have a couple more minutes. We have some precious people that have traveled from out of the county that we ended up over at the admin office instead. So we'll wait a few minutes so they can arrive. And our famous Bev Gray has arrived. Woo! She got here before 7 a.m. this morning again, and she's gathering the valuable information. So we appreciate her faithfulness. So, yay! Oh, good. We're so grateful that you all came today. And we had a prayer circle here because with the Bill of Rights and the First Amendment, we all know and we stand on freedom of religion. And that's why we always open in prayer first, right? First things first. In a few minutes we'll have the pledge. Now with those 5 Bill of Rights, in the First Amendment, we have freedom of religion, and what's the second one? Freedom of speech. That's right. And then the third one is freedom of print and press. When we hand out flyers and we help people get educated, it's so important. Because we've done the research and not everyone knows what we know, right? So we don't need to be selfish with that information. We need to be generous and share it everywhere we can. Of course, social media helps with that, but sometimes. But when the media doesn't have the opportunity or doesn't choose to get the truth out there, then it falls on us, right? And it's our job, and that's why we're here today. And we appreciate the media coming. Now with that, let's see, first, second, third, and then the fourth one would be freedom to assemble peaceably, right? This is what we're doing today. We're assembling peaceably. And we have to learn to do this because not everyone agrees with us, and that's okay. I say ignorance is not a bad thing. It's just lacking knowledge and information. And people can get more information to make a better decision. That's why we're here. And then the final one is freedom to redress our grievances. Isn't that what we're doing today as well? All these 5 things were guidances given to us 250 years ago that applies today. But I just love that freedom of religion is the very first. Hello, thank you for coming. You can join us. We're just getting ready to get started. And so with that, I am so grateful because when I had the opportunity, let me just tell a real quick story. When the noise passes, a few years back, my husband and I decided to get our CCW certification and do our training. And it was super fun, and we learned some great skills, and we practiced. And then we went to Sportsman's Warehouse. And I just loved that place. I decided to get a job there. I ended up working there for 3 years, and boy, did I learn stuff. Well, I'll never forget. I was so green, I didn't know very much, but a young man came in one day, and Patrick will laugh at this, because a young man came in and says, with his family, excuse me, miss, would you show me where the magazines are? I said, sure, son, come over this way. And I took him to the books, and the magazines, the books. He's talking about guns, I mean the ammo, put in the magazines. I said, those are in the back of the store with the bread and the milk. So with that, my husband, he bought me, we have our birthdays two weeks apart, and he bought me a handgun for my birthday. And then 2 weeks later, I bought him patio furniture. $325, both of those costs. It worked out really well. And then we sit at our patio and we clean our guns. So, of course, we're talking about the Second Amendment. And the reason I say that is because we have the Second Amendment to protect our First Amendment. And we need to exhaust our First Amendment before we use our Second Amendment, right? Now, both are very valuable, but the timing and the purpose for their use is what's critical. So, with that, I don't see them yet, so I think we should go ahead and get started. And we're missing a couple other important people. That's okay, they'll find us. It's not raining. So, can we go ahead, and Jim, would you lead us in the pledge, sir? Is there anyone here that we want to thank for your military service? And thank you so much for your service and sacrifice. Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much.
Woo! Thank you.
Please direct your attention to the tall flag over there. To the flag.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Moses is here now. We can get started because Moses is here. This is Michael Kehoe. Yes. Oh, Moses is here. So thank you for coming, Moses. This is Michael Kehoe. He's our dear friend from another county, just moved up to Tehama, and a warrior. So anyway, so we've done the pledge, and I think we'll have a question and answer time afterwards, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, and thank you for coming. My name is Patty Plum, and I'm here today as a private citizen representing myself and we the people. I am not representing the Election Commission today. Why are we here? It's been 3 years, 4 months, and 17 days since I met privately with Kathy Darling, our Shasta County Clerk Recorder and Register of Voters. And I asked her 8 questions. The first one being, where do our ballots come from? And she answered, Runbeck, printer in Arizona. This revealing conversation, which happened right in there, upstairs, we sat right outside her office for quite a while. And she got a little bit flustered. She ran and got her Constitution, brought it back, and she ran and got her election code book and brought it back. But as I'm asking her these 8 questions, because it was July 9th, 2021. A lot had been going on, and we sat there together, and with that first question, asking her about where our ballots came from, was super revealing. Look at, we're here today because of Brenda. This revealing conversation has led to a process of discovery to understand our very mysterious and complicated election system. And it has led to us here today. And we address our current concerns and issues with Runbeck, provider of paper and printed ballots. At one point in our conversation, Kathy was frustrated and asked me, why are you so concerned? Trump won in Shasta County 65%. And I said, Kathy, it's not about Trump. It's about a questionable and confusing voting system. Today, I hear the same statements. Your candidates appear to be winning, so why are you worried about the process? Does anyone else hear that?
Yep, all the time.
All the time. Or that it takes 2 months or longer to count the ballots and tally the votes. Aren't we supposed to have election day?
Yes.
It's supposed to be the Tuesday after the first Monday in November. Election day. That's what the Constitution says. That's what we're trying to get back to. Why is it lasting 2 months? So,
Cheating.
Sorry? Okay.
Cheating.
Okay. It's about the question of confusing voting system. Okay. So, full disclosure and transparency is all we are asking for, and a simple process that would make sense to a 5th grader. We have gone inside the election office and spent many hours and days observing as observers and media, hoping to have our concerns put to rest. We have waited for our new ROV Thomas Toller and Joanna Francisca to convince us that our voting system and election process can be trusted. But our doubts have increased substantially within the past several election cycles, with this one being certainly the worst. And as I will address in the printed press release, and if anyone wants a copy of that, I have that over here in this bag, so if someone wants to pass the press release out at that time. Let's see.
It's a mess.
We also,
horror.
We also thought that we could count on the local media for truthfully informing the public as to the status and compromised conditions of our ballot. Not the case. So here we are, we the people, we are here as the truth tellers to have the much needed brave conversations and say something is not right. We have seen stuff, suspicious activity, through the windows and just beyond our view. Not always sure what we're seeing, but it gives us a very sick feeling in our stomach, and it's not okay. It's like what's happening behind closed doors and people are whispering. It feels similar to when a friend is, if you have a friend that has a spouse that might be cheating on them, and that sick feeling you get when you need to go to them and tell them the truth that something's going on.
You don't know the truth!
You have seen evidence that something's happening.
You don't know it!
And so you need to come alongside of them and say, we're going to have a brave conversation and we're going to talk about things
Your
that are
brave
really hard.
conversation would be if you knew the truth!
So thank you.
If you observe with your eyes!
With that, there's a lot going on here.
Observe with your eyes when
And it
you're up
makes us feel
there!
sick to our
It's
stomachs.
super easy!
And it's hard when people disagree with us, but it's
How easy
okay.
it is!
So that's what we're
Oh,
hoping to
I can
have.
also protest!
Is
It's
a
super
simple
easy!
process.
Don't get a seizure. Sit down.
You're protesting, that's what this is! And I can protest too! This is an open area to protest!
We're having a peaceful gathering.
So am I!
No, you're not.
Oh, how... Oh, what are you doing to the political process?
So
This
with
is
that,
not
we're
disruptive to what
We're
they're doing.
supposing it.
And,
Sit down before
if
you
somebody
fall
knows
down.
With this,
Yeah, Patty. Sit Patty there over here.
If you guys are respectful to the people who work for our county, I will be respectful.
Go take care of your children. Go home.
what I will say is, yes, I
If
totally
you dare
agree.
call CPS, I will get your license revoked.
I'm mandated.
Jenny,
So am I.
Jenny, I do agree with you. We have wonderful people that work super hard and they're tired and they're just sleep deprived. I totally agree.
I will not allow for people
is
to
not-
send
Paid
lies
actors.
and
We got paid actors
misinformation.
here.
This is not against anyone
Bad
working here.
actors.
This is our protest against the
Who's paying
system.
you?
Nobody. We have no money.
So the
because of you
the
and your
press
group.
release for
Absolutely not.
November 26, 2024, the
Yeah,
citizens
when
of
you
Shasta
look at
County
it, why
Citizens
don't
of
you look at
Shasta
how these
County
people
do not
have
agree
been
with
for
you.
2 years
They
at
do not
work.
agree
are
with you.
currently
11 years.
being disenfranchised.
Perfect record until
The
then.
U.S. Supreme Court
Please step out of the
in
way.
What do you know?
1915
Has someone been
This isn't happening.
his record with
that
you?
we
Because that
not
would be
only
illegal.
have the
Machines
right
were
to
not
cast a
rigged.
vote,
There was no voter fraud.
But you have
This
to
woman
vote
here is
accurately.
absolutely out of her mind. She's
Shasta County
paid
did not
agitator
follow the
down
user
from the top. Basically, you have Patrick Jones who is sitting here.
And as a result, a
As a
printer
result,
error in the live ballots
I'm
occurred.
sorry. I'm
One
sorry I
of the,
don't have
of the two
a
ballots are being
megaphone
rejected.
to
So this
spread
is a
lies.
50%
So it's
rejection
bad I
rate.
have to
No,
tell.
your rejection rate. No,
California voting system standards are not being met in Shasta County.
they are being met.
That voting
They are
system
being met.
part
This
in
is
the civic
absolute
is
dishonesty.
currently utilized as a
Dishonesty.
misfeed
This is
rate
dishonesty
approximately
coming from the top.
250 of every 500 ballot scan.
Yes.
This
yes.
far exceeds
And
the
it's due to the
state
fact that they
voting
dropped
system
the Dominion
standards
machines.
set
That
forth
is
by
why
the
that
Secretary of State
Do you understand?
that allow for no
Do you
more than
understand the
one
logic that you
misfeed
guys are
per
perpetuating, that you
500
caused the
ballot
problem
scans.
that you
The
are now stating
duplication
needs to be
process
fixed?
is conducted in private
That you are
with no
causing the
meaningful
problem that now needs to be
observation.
fixed?
And the process is complicated and
Unhand
lacks
me.
clear work
Oh, I'm
through.
sorry.
Yes,
Most
you better be.
concerningly, the duplication process
Touch me again?
is done
I
without
didn't,
maintaining
I didn't
a
touch
chain
you.
of
You
custody.
Yes,
interrupted.
you did.
No, I did not.
Observers
No, I
are
did not, sir. No, I did not.
Your
hand
Are
is
you
over
going
the
to
shoulder
state that I
of
assaulted you
individuals
because
creating
while I was
the
walking, you
ballot,
stepped into my
nor are
way?
they able
This
to
is a
look over the
farce.
shoulders of
This is an
individuals
absolute
double-check
farce. The people of Shasta County do not agree with this. This is a handful of paid agitators that
provided
came in
for
to
cases
essentially lie to the public.
creating a new law.
Who's handing out the check?
Oh, absolutely. I actually want my check too. This is BS. This is BS. This is absolute BS.
A manual vote count in
The
the
manual
event of
vote
a natural
count.
disaster.
The manual vote
or
count. Do you
other state
realize
emergency
that Patrick
in
Jones
which use of
himself
certified
stated
voting
that a
system is
manual
not
vote
feasible?
count would take
We
less time
declare
and be more
that this has
accurate than a
happened in
system that had
Shasta
checks
County
and
is in a
balances?
state of
That
emergency.
50% rejection
in which
rate,
the
that
use of
50%
certified
rejection
voting
rate
systems is
was
not
being
feasible.
double checked by
We
3
insist on 100%
independent
manual
individuals.
hand count to
And when
be
they found a
conducted
mistake,
to
the
ensure
system
accuracy
corrected it.
and transparency
When you have
in
people
Shasta
hand
County.
counting, that doesn't happen.
We demand that
doesn't
the election
happen.
official
There's actually
guilty
a
of
bigger rejection rate
maladministration
that no
described
one will
above
ever
be
know
placed on
because it's only
administrative
looked at
leave,
by you.
effective immediately.
How do we know
And
that?
that's what I'm going to
What do
say.
you
I'm
mean,
going to
how do we
close
know
at this
that?
time.
How do we
Thank you
know
very
that
much. I think we got all of our words
Because
today.
it's observable. I've actually been in there observing.
The greater
every
the
day.
resistance,
My
the
wife,
greater
I
the
haven't been there
breakthrough.
the
I
past
believe
week,
that.
But during the first 2 weeks,
And I
during the
believe
election,
after this is
there
all
was
over,
6
all of us are going to be
people in
really
there.
good friends.
It goes
I
through 2
believe that
different
too.
sets of 3 people.
Thank you so
And
much.
when there's a mistake on one end, it gets picked up on the second end. If it doesn't get picked up on the second end, the last person that prints out the reprinted ballot picks it up. If you're doing a straight hand count, there's nobody doing that. It's actually increasing the level of security. That's the irony.
Some people don't have very much intelligence. Just get used to it.
It's worse when they do.
Yeah.
It's more demonic.
I heard you showed up at Linda's house with that.
Hey, how you doing? How you been?
So what's
How's
this
that woodworking
about?
going?
My house burned down.
Oh, really?
That was my fire. It was a lower
Were
fire.
you in the lower fire? Out.
Started in my workshop.
Okay. That was pretty hot fire.
Yes, it certainly was. Thank God my house burned when it burned down.
Shut the fuck up. Oh, did you get that? You do not have the
No
right to
fires
speak
blaming
to me.
on the holy rags.
The Fawn Fire burned
First Amendment? Okay, I
right
can
up
do my
to our
First
house, burned a
Amendment.
couple
Hi,
acres.
Lori. How are you doing? I'm using my First Amendment to speak to you. Hi, Lori. What's going on? How are you doing today?
That's called harassment, dude.
You want to get rude?
Leave her alone. She's actually accosted my wife on about 10 different occasions, taking. Oh, okay. So your needs. Understood.
Yeah, so it got real close. When we were leaving, I was for sure it was going to burn our house.
The voter fraud that is
The
happening
winds
right
just
now.
shifted, and
Aren't these the disruptors we have in the supervisors meeting?
By this individual right here.
Hey, knock
The very two culprits. Yeah.
they were arrested last meeting. They were doing this in our meeting, and they got arrested.
Yeah, they sat down and made everybody leave the room. And
Assaulted somebody in Shasta County, and that's you. When did you do that? You assaulted Christian Gardner at a meeting. Yeah.
You also get a press release? I know it's in the training, but if we have press releases.
But you assaulted him. You understand? Okay. Yeah, okay. That gentleman put his hands on me and I didn't punch him.
it's amazing.
Of course you did.
They're trying to sue the county.
It doesn't matter.
They're trying to sue the county.
Yes, I am trying to sue the county because they have illegally fired me for a whistleblower report. They denied ADA compliance rules, and they're giving personal information to people who it doesn't belong to. You actually had my medical information. Yes, they gave it to you. They showed it to you. How would you know about my wife's medical issues?
You told us out loud before the EMS showed up. but-
Yeah, you actually knew before that.
I know.
So, that's our asset.
Yeah, but the
I'm just
central and
upset
southern,
Timber, too.
Shasta
and timber
County
and other
like,
minerals,
not
right?
coming
But
out.
that's why the South will
You
never
guys are a
cut
bunch
loose
of
of that. They're not going to cut control of that loose.
Yes.
And how much water is worth in a drought, right? I mean,
Oh, no, I'm definitely-
it's the new liquid gold, right?
Yeah.
Every 7 years. And so just that fact alone, they won't do
The fact that
it.
you
There's
guys
no
call a
motivation for
fake
them.
press conference to talk about fake voting. What a life I have. I don't do drugs. I'm shaking because I am absolutely irritated at the fact that this man, I'm planning on it.
So funny. They're ruining our sin.
It's funny. I'm trying to add a little humor to the insanity.
What was let down supersede any
I don't December 3rd, we'll be able to certify, and that's not the case. And so just letting the voters know that things are not all right here, and they need to be able to come to an emergency meeting with our leadership, with our Board of Supervisors. We will be having a town hall Monday next Monday the 2nd, right before certification day, and that's going to be at our library, at the Reading Library at 4 p.m. on Monday, December 2nd. And that'll be our last opportunity to gather together to get a remedy. We want a solution. We want it to be simple. Like I said, we want it to be something that a 5th grader can understand. Right now, over time, it's become so complicated that no one knows how this is going to be solved. It is quite the mess in here. So this is great. I just look forward to working together with people that have been opposed to us, and I sit across the table. Maybe I could sit across the table. Can you imagine? Have 100 tables out there, and we could count all of our ballots together. We could have pizza delivered. It would all happen on maybe 1 or 2 days. But we can do this. If anyone can do this, I believe Shasta County can. And we'll lead the other counties. We can even lead the nation in a way to provide a simple, free, and fair election.
I know you brought up, Kathy Darlene Allen, speaking with her a few years ago. Any conversations with Tom? And if so, what has he said in those conversations?
Oh, absolutely. Had several meetings with Tom prior to him being appointed, after him being appointed. I went in with other people so I could sit in and catch things that may be missed and try to re-emphasize to him, Tom, we need to get our own printer, a local printer here so we can have supervision, and we don't expect someone in another state to provide this. Can we bring this home? And he said yes. I said, let's prune the tree and bring everything closer. Let's make it real simple. Initially he said yes, and then when this training came and they told him what he could and couldn't do, things changed, and that's unfortunate. But that's okay. This is not a solution for one person. This is an opportunity for the public of Shasta County to step up and say, we need to figure this out. We're not counting on Joanna or Tom to do this. We've got to figure this out. How can this be done well so we all will be satisfied that our votes were counted, they were cast and counted accurately for who we chose.
Did you expect counter protests and high emotion?
I did. In fact, I expected it to be worse, and so that's okay. We're ready for anything at this point because people behave badly when they're scared, and so I understand that we work with a lot of behavioral things with kids in juvenile hall, and so my question is, what is it that they're afraid of? What are people afraid of when they react? Now, people might ask, well, what am I afraid of? Well, I believe all this time that it's been like cooking the frog in the pot. It's been a slow process. It started way back, I probably remember, to be old like I am, with the hanging chads back in 2000, and then things suddenly started shifting. We started going towards machines and trusting the machines to, going into an invisible space. And so that's unfortunate, but that's where we've been. So it's been many years of this. So where we are today is not by accident. The thing I want to say most important is that the process that we have right now was created for manipulation. It was programmed for manipulation, and we found that out with Clint Curtis because he was one of the programmers. And we've seen the algorithms and how they match with these states, 49, 51%. It is maintained for manipulation. And where does manipulation come from? Why do we trust a state-controlled election? Why can't it be county-controlled? Why do we trust a corporate-controlled election? Why do we trust an election that we know that could possibly be manipulated by China, for heaven's sake? So, like I said, we have to kind of come to a little bit of a crisis in order for changes to be made. Without conflict, there can be no change. I learned that from a pastor's wife. She's on oxygen. She's like 93 years old, and she told me, honey, don't be afraid of conflict. Without conflict, there can be no change. So that's what we're here to do today, to support whatever we can to come away from the rocks and get it to where it makes sense for all of us.
What's the end goal? Is there an end goal?
There is a remedy, and so being able to understand, first of all, what does the Constitution say we can do for election? The Constitution says election is on one day, and we need to be able to hand count. We need to be able to have full observation, transparency, like I mentioned, maybe at the Civic Auditorium with cameras and security. If we have to do it in 2 days, security stays overnight. We just need to bring this back to where it's not so confusing. I believe it's confusing by design. It's confusing this way on purpose. So no one can know what's happening. We look in windows and we're like, what's happening here? What's happening here? And so I describe this location actually as a hamster condo, like a hamster condominium. There's a wheel in all these rooms and everyone's busy, spinning on their hamster wheel, and they're exhausted. But how do you connect all the dots together and have it make sense so we can see the big picture? So I believe that other countries have done this. They vote in one day. India, France, how could they do it? I've been told it's because of the down ballot. because there's school boards and there's measures and all these others. I believe there's a solution here. So it's coming together from both sides of the parties, Democrat and Republican, and coming to a meeting of the minds and doing this together. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Did you get enough content, Mike? It's like giving you a drink of water with a fire hose. I'm sorry, my husband says the same thing. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I appreciate you, mister. I know this isn't easy. Oh, yes.
If the editor doesn't get it right, I've got you hugging her.
Okay, great. All right, there goes the rumors now. That's how rumors get started. Thank you. Oh, absolutely. Thank you for what all you do.
I
know.
Suck your tongue here, sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Not on your bucket list.
Exactly. My address.
I know it either. Did you get a copy of the press release? Thank you.
These people, he should just get a damn job, but he can't.
You have the press release?
No, I want
you have an email.
only digital.
Yeah, that's right. Documenting vapor. I know.
I can't. I don't want to type anything.
I understand. Okay, we did it.
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay.